welcome back to the YouTube channel. This weekend we went to Wichita Raceway Park for the Park in the Dark 4's Olympi flashlight deal. Similar to what we did at Yellow Belly, just with some little bit different rules, but we fit the True Street class again. So we were in that. There were 22 total cars, actually a pretty good car count, $100 buy-in. So it's pretty basic stuff. So we're gonna get right into it. Had a fantastic time, managed through some challenges, but we made it to the finals. So I'm gonna kind of go through different things with you as far as data logs and stuff. And we did get a few more angles for you guys this time. We actually had some GoPros, which weren't turned on for every race. You know who you are that didn't turn them on. But ultimately it comes back on me as well. I was just focused on the race. But we did get some good footage for y'all, so stay tuned.
Do now. Mustang got it.
What's going on, guys? So we did get that first round win. We raced Little 10, and I just kind of want to take you through what I do between rounds and what I'm looking at. So we did leave pretty soft. The track's pretty dirty, and they did scrape it. So we were the 9th pair in the first class to go down in True Street. We actually, I think it was like 22 cars, so it's a pretty big class. But I wanted to kind of take you guys through what I look for between rounds and what adjustments I'm going to make. So we did leave on about 3.5 pounds, which is right in that sweet spot. I didn't want to leave too hard because, like I said, it is the first part of this race. I'm sure it'll come around a little bit more. We left at about 4 pounds, and I left off the trans brake, and you can see it kind of ramped in pretty slow. But these are kind of the main things that I look at. So especially on the higher end, there's some things I look at, but when it's leaving, you can see that I already had to pedal it. It did spin a little bit. It left pretty good though. So it left pretty good, and you can see it, we had to pedal. But then, you know, going into it, it was a little bit all over the place. But our vitals are staying good. Our air fuel is staying pretty good. We're not having too much learning and stuff like that, which is excellent. But yeah, so we had to pedal it, and you can see even half track, like it was still a little sketchy, and then I got back into it there, and we made about 24 pounds. So
I was hoping that was still recording.
What?
I was hoping that was still recording from when she walked up and said that.
Oh, it wasn't?
Huh?
It wasn't?
No.
You want to tell people about the drama?
So some people are mad that Jeremy didn't go buy a $50 registration.
Because as you can see, 0921, because I love paying taxes. That's what I love doing.
Yeah. The rules say
tagged
and insured.
And insured.
It does not say updated tags and insured. And
no,
if you walked around to most of these cars,
I mean, that's registration. The tags are what's on the license plate.
That's true. But you walked up to most of these cars,
they didn't have anything.
Class, they pulled them off their work truck or their trucks to put them on there.
Yeah, and that's why I told him, like, hey, if you got a problem with it, go talk to the people before we race. Like, don't talk to them after, you know.
Yeah. Well, she thought she had the bag.
It was just passive. It was just a little passive aggressive, but we took the high road. That's what we do.
Just looked at each other like.
As you guys could tell, there was a little bit of controversy before the race. They just kind of did a look over of my car, and I guess they thought it wasn't streety enough. So I definitely looked at the sticker, which it is expired a little bit, but it's got a sticker. It's got regular plates. It's insured. I drive it on the street. I just forgot that it was expired, honestly. If you look at my truck over there, we're going on over a year in it. I just don't like paying for things when I can avoid it, and I just forget about them, honestly. Especially when, you know, cops don't really bother you about it. But if that's the only thing you can say about my car with a street car, I can get that updated. That ain't no big deal at all. We got the first round win. Didn't let us shake us up or anything. We just made sure that any complaints that were made before the race, because we don't want any complaints after the race. So on to the second round. So as you could tell from the previous video, we made some changes. After the first round, the track definitely got faster, which you're going to see in this video. So we made some changes and anticipated that. So we definitely add a little bit more power, but still kept it conservative because we knew down track probably wasn't going to get all that much better. It was just kind of the short track that would get a little bit better. So this was our second run. So round two, we got the win. So as you can see, here's the data from it. Going into it, on the last run, we were left on about 4 pounds. I really wanted to leave on about 8, and we did that just about exactly. So we left on 8. You can see it comes in pretty slow. It goes up to 22 about right there, but it did come in pretty slow compared to how I do have things usually ramping in for any kind of better prep. So we had it coming in slow, a nice 22 pounds. Now you can see right here, it peaks at 22, but then it comes back down a little bit around the 21 mark. That was kind of intentional because I had it plateaued. I didn't want it to make any more power in that area because that's where everybody was spinning like I was talking about before. So we had it come back in. You can see we got the gear shift right here. And then we got the power coming back in slowly but surely around the 24 pound mark. So car made a good pass. I knew going into the next round that it could definitely hold more power just because what I had seen, just how quickly the track had turned around initially. I knew it was going to get even better and it was going to get stickier and the starting line was even better. So going into it, my plan was to definitely give it more boost and throw more at it. So that's what we did. We definitely threw a little bit more boost at it. Let me pull up my tune real quick from that one. Second round. So let's go to our boost curve. I want to show you guys just a little bit. So you can see how I had it kind of plateauing. It kind of came up, left on 12, and then it gained a little bit. You can see this little part right here. It kind of plateaued, and then it came up a little bit more. So that's what the plan was for that one. I didn't want to keep hitting it so hard that it didn't want to. I really wanted to smooth it out, but just in that 2.5 second area, I just wanted to build a little bit slower. So that's what happened. So for round 3, like I said, plan on leaving on a bit more boost. Didn't know who we were going to draw yet. I always like to kind of put what I think the track will hold initially tune up in, and then I'll have some data for, after I see who I'm drawing, which I really like to try to race the surface, not who I'm drawing. But it all depends. Usually you need to be a little more risky if you're racing somebody quick, and there were some really fast cars in this class, so I didn't really know who I was going to go up against. Just to be honest, a lot of the cars that I figured would be in small tire were in true street class. So we had some stiff competition, and didn't know who we were going to draw, so I just like to plan and put what I think the surface will hold, and then make adjustments accordingly if I think we really need to. But I would much rather not blow the tires off, especially in a no prep scenario, but I really felt like this track was coming around fast, and it did get fast. So hang on for round 3. 3. Apparently in all the craziness, I forgot to save the data log properly. So I don't have it, but I did review the data and it did leave better that time. So just looking at this boost curve, this is what I put in it for round 3. You can see that I followed that even more because there was even more of a spot. It was around the 2-second mark that the track just wasn't happy. So you can see we started at 17, kind of ramped it up and then plateaued it off. And then after that little spot, we gave it a little bit more. So that's what we got going. And we made some changes for the next round. This next one was actually the 4th round, so there were 3 cars left. And Jonathan actually drew the bye for me, but I was over here messing with computer and laptop stuff while he was doing that. So he drew the bye for me, and we actually got a test hit. So I wanted to really go aggressive with it. So I had a bit of boost. We'll come back to it. I actually got a data log of that one, so we'll come back to that after. Round, we got a lot of good data. We just made that 330 hit because we figured it was going to be a quick turnaround time for the finals, but I really wanted to get after it pretty aggressive, see what it would hold, maybe add a little bit more depending. And that's actually what I did. I didn't have a whole lot of time, but I wanted to shoot for it. I wanted to go for it. And so I added a bit more, and you'll see that final boost curve, but it was pretty aggressive. And it got after it pretty quickly, and you'll see the result of that. So here you go. Get the win in True Street, but we put up a fight and we went to the 5th round. We went to the finals. So I'm really happy with how the car performed. I don't have any complaints. I made a little error just on the tuning end, but it is what it is. So the car launched good, it hooked, but it went up, and the car's never done a wheelie like that before. So I pedaled it. Looking back at it, I probably could have rode it out and been fine. I just didn't want the car to slam down and break parts, since, like I said, it's never done a wheelie before. And so it felt a lot, like it came up a lot higher than it actually did. But the car left on 17 pounds, and then almost immediately went to 28 with that pretty aggressive ramp that I had in it. So I did pedal it. After that, we got back into it, and then it made some boost, made some power, fantastic. And then I was like, oh, I'm behind. Let's grab the scramble. Well, I made a mistake on that. Coming from my boost leash background, there was a force setting, and when I tested the car, I grabbed the scramble button because that enabled because I was just doing some rolls, since there's not really many good dig spots around here. And I just grabbed the scramble and it made whatever it was. So I assumed, oh, it's force, it's not add. Well, it's add, and that was just a mental mistake on my part, but you can see the error that was made. It hit, and luckily I had boost cut at 44, so the car seemed fine. It ran fine after it pulled back on the trailer and all, but you can see that it definitely was not happy. So yeah, we hit a peak 51.3 really fast, but luckily the Holley kicked in, the safeties kicked in. So it was adding on my 33 plus the 36. And in reality, I should have just put 3 on top. So it is what it is. We learned from it. And that's why it cut out on the big end. It was just saving. So that's it, guys. We went to the finals. We didn't have enough, but we learned from it. We got a lot of data from this race. The car's working. It's doing really well. So now I'm going to look into some suspension upgrades. We're definitely going to get limiters for it. Just have a little bit more control over that. Maybe look into some front shocks, just in case we do some radial stuff. I know it's going to want to come up a little bit if we try to really get after it in the 60 foot. So I definitely want to have that to go off of, you know, to be able to control things a little better, have more control, more adjustment. I'm also going to look into some kind of steering rack because it just needs to be upgraded at this point. It's still a stock rack, and I've been running it for a while, and it's getting into a safety thing. So never take safety lightly. Invest in safety. It's worth it. Till next time, guys, I'm hoping we're going to be able to hit another race here in not too long. So we'll get these upgrades done, and we'll give you guys some more content. So if you have any suggestions, feel free to put those down in the comment section below. Subscribe and like and comment and share this video.